There's nothing better than a 4 a.m. flex to start the day. You can flex on the haters, you can flex on the hoes, or my favorite option is to flex on the younger version of yourself that is a weak cuck. And the weight is getting lower by the day. It won't be long before I just start evaporating into thin air.
I met this beautiful kitty on my morning walk today, and she just can't stop following me. Look, here I go. How long she comes with me. I think I made a new companion on my travels.
So quick little sleep deprivation update. Last night, it was rough. Probably 3 hours of sleep, even though I got to bed at a semi-reasonable time. I was still wired from my late evening gym session. If you can consider 8 p.m. late evening, it is for me, obviously, because ideally I would already be in bed by that time, waking up at 4 a.m. and stuff. But I also heard some sad news that my grandfather had passed away when I got home last night, and I was obviously a bit shocked, but hey, he was at the end of his life, let's be honest. He was, had dementia, couldn't function on his own. Basically, he's out of his misery now, and he can rest easy. I wasn't very close to him. I didn't meet him very many times because he lives in Russia. He lived in Russia along with my other family, and it was mainly just being emotionally there for my poor mother who lost her father. But anyway, with those two factors combined, I didn't sleep very much last night. However, funnily enough, it's those more severe sleep deprivation days that usually have me overcompensate the next day, where it's those 5-6 hour nights that feel the roughest when I wake up usually, because it's just enough to sort of restore you back to baseline, but not quite. However, on those nights where it's 2-3 hours, I believe your body overcompensates the next day by just pumping you with extra adrenaline, extra cortisol, just to keep you alive, basically. And even though, I'm suffering a loss, even though it doesn't feel like I'm suffering at all, which is a bit concerning because maybe I'm just emotionally numb, maybe I haven't processed it yet, but I'm sensing a very enjoyable, exciting day ahead. And I won't lie to you, today will be a caffeine thrill ride, if you can call it that. I've already pounded some coffee. For the rest of the day, it's going to be green tea only. Green tea because it slows the spike of caffeine. You can still get buzzing, don't get me wrong. You just have to include more tea bags because it's not very strong. But if you put 4 tea bags in 1 cup, that's your 100 milligrams of caffeine, equivalent to 1 cup of coffee. But like I say, the release is slower, smoother, and the crash is a lot more gentle. Meaning, for the rest of the day, I'm going to be enjoying myself. It's a rest day from the gym, meaning I can focus more on just the grind, the hustle and bustle of slanging parcels. And tonight, there's literally no excuse not to catch up on some much needed sleep. But anyway, got my parcels ready to go for the first run of the day with our boys at Amazon. All hail Jeff Bezos, my overlord. But hey, I'll see you when my deliveries have been completed. The route is now complete. It's time to top up the green tea fuel in the system. And it's also time to have my first meal of the day, which can only really be considered a light snack by my usual standards. But you got to do what you got to do to get shredded. Now, what do we have? Well, because it's a rest day, I don't need many carbs at all. So we're going for the first meal with literally just chicken breast and lettuce, because simplicity is the greatest sophistication. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not ideal at all for nutrient density, for hormonal profile, anything like that, but this is not the season of life that I'm in right now. I'm here to get shredded, not to optimize testosterone. If I was doing that, then I'd be going for beef, not chicken. But chicken freaking works. Very high in protein, reasonably high volume, very few calories. There's a reason it's a staple when you're getting shredded. But man, I can't wait to start mass gaining again. 25% beef mince. Oh, it's going to be incredible. What I said tonight about finally catching up on some sleep was not destined to be. I have 240 parcels and it's 4 p.m. This is one of those times where you dig deep, see what you're made of, come out the other side feeling like a G. I won't lie, my emotions are freaking roller coastering all over the place. The freaking lack of sleep, everything is just catching up. And this is one of those times where I just want to retreat. I just want to give it all up, go curl up in a ball under my blankets. But these are the times where true steel is forged in the furnace. I have to just remember, return to the present moment. Next step, next step, next step. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about an hour's time. Just think about the next step. When we can't raise the ceiling, we raise the floor. It's 10 p.m. and I'm all done for the day. 240 parcels delivered after an already pretty long day of sleep deprivation. Man, you could probably tell from the last clip that I was on the verge of tears, and I really didn't want to share it. I actually was seriously considering just deleting it, not to show myself being so emotionally vulnerable, because I hate that side of me when my voice starts to break a little bit. But it just goes to show you, everything good that you feel about yourself comes on the other side of sacrifice, because today was a grind. I was expecting it to be easy because it's a rest day from the gym, but little did I know that there's no rest for the wicked. But anyway, let me share with you the mental framework that I used, because I'll be honest with you, when I was in the depot, I was sorting out my parcels, I wasn't having a good time. My mind was spiraling with all of this negativity, like, oh, I still have so much to do, oh, another night of sleep deprivation, I'm gonna be so exhausted en route, this is so dangerous to be driving when I'm this tired. And that is true, that is so true. Don't repeat what I'm doing, right? It's not sensible to be on the road so much when you're running on that little sleep. It's not just dangerous for you, it's dangerous for everyone else around you. But I was terrified that I was going to have some crazy accident today, but the Lord blessed me. More importantly, he didn't just bless me with safe circumstances, he blessed me with a new kick of energy as I started to move through my day. You see, I keep on saying this, and it's so true. More energy is found on the other side of sacrifice. When I started my round, I was freaking a dead man walking. I had caffeinated myself with just an absurd amount of green tea throughout the day, and it just wasn't hitting anymore. I was so close. I was going back and forth. Should I go get some Zins, some dirty, disgusting nicotine to get me through the day? And I'm glad I didn't, because that wouldn't have helped anything. That would have just made me even more racy and anxious and jittery. But the clean, fueled, focused drive that I managed to finish the day on all came from within. Because you have to get to a certain stage where you think to yourself, the work needs to get done one way or the other. And today, the work didn't have to get done, because what I'm doing is completely self-employed. I don't have any corporate overlords who are, raining down on me, really. On this courier job, I'm free to just leave as many parcels as I want at the end of the day, but I set a promise, and I absolutely want to destroy the identity of me that breaks promises that he makes. I set a promise to my bro who sorted me out this work, and I made a promise to myself that the work would get done. And you get to a point where you realize this isn't actually hard work. It takes effort, but it's not real, like, back-breaking manual labor. I'm not freaking digging a hole. I'm not carrying bricks. It's just long hours, like very monotonous, purposeless, tedious work. And that's okay, because if I can put in effort for something that is so meaningless, imagine how much I'm going to put into helping each and every one of my clients transform their physique, their mind. Because what comes as inside, so is out. Start from internally, and the external will end up manifesting one way or the other. And today, I made the most amount of money I've probably ever done before, doing these little jobs, doing any kind of work. Actually, that is a fact. I made the most amount of money that I've ever made doing just normal work. But that's not the point. The point is, I pushed myself to the very threshold of what I was capable of, running on so little sleep, absolutely starving from this calorie deficit, after already having done some work throughout the day. Now the funky part is coming up. Now it's time to go home and sleep, and wake up sleep deprived again to do a less intense day tomorrow. But when you can't raise the ceiling, try to raise the floor. Because on the days where everything is going smoothly, you're going to be even more of an unstoppable unit. Peace out, my brother. I'll see you in the morning.